So in this lesson, you will learn how to write equations of lines. This is a review, again, of Algebra 1. Horizontal lines are given by the equation y equals to the number, and they have zero slope. We talked about this a little bit in graphing and slopes notes the other day. They're horizontal lines because we need them to cross through the y-axis at that particular location. And the only way to cross through the y-axis is to draw a horizontal line. Vertical lines are given by the equation x is equal to, because they cross through the x-axis and they have undefined slope. So write the equations of both the vertical and horizontal lines that pass through or go through the point -4, 7. So if you can imagine, you've got this -4, 7. We've got this point right here. And what we want is we want this line right here and we want this line right here. So you can imagine then that this goes through the x-axis at -4. This line right here goes through the x-axis at -4. So the equation of that line would be x is equal to -4. And then this line, this horizontal line, goes through the y-axis, and it is y is equal to 7. Now, if you'll notice that corresponds with that xy coordinate. Okay, so writing the equations of a line. To write the equation of a line, you need the slope, or the m, and then you need a point. So you can use two different options to do this. So we have point slope form. Point slope form is this equation right here, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So when we have it in that form, you plug in, you've got your point and you've got your slope. So we've got our point and we've got our slope, and we go in and we substitute in all of our values, and then we simplify the equation. Now, if you leave the equation like this, it is in point slope form. You can continue further and say, for instance, this one, y plus 2 is equal to -x plus 3. I distributed that negative sign. And then subtract 2 from both sides, and you get y is equal to -x plus 1. That is in slope-intercept form. So depending on what I ask for, whether I ask for you to write it in point-slope form or slope-intercept, this one is point-slope, this one is slope-intercept. So you can use point-slope form, or you can use y-intercept, slope-intercept form. And in that case, you would plug in your y, your m, and your b, or excuse me, your y, your m, and your x, and then you want to solve for your y-intercept, and then plug that back in. So if we look at this one, if you do, and you can choose which way you want to do it. I'm not picky about which one. Now, when you have your final answer, you have to look at how I've asked for the final answer. So if I ask for it in point slope form, then you need to go ahead and work it in point slope so that you can end up with your answer in that format. So I'll work this one both ways. Write the equation of the line passing through -4, and 8, 12. So the first thing that we have to have is we need a point and we need a slope. So if I take my m, so we go back y2 minus y1, so we have 12 minus a -4 over 8 minus 4. We get 16 over 4, so that's 4 over 1. So if we use, so now we have our slope, and then we need a point. It doesn't matter which one you use. I tend to use the ones that have all the positives so that I don't have to make any mistakes with negatives. So if you're going to use this with point slope form, then you would do y minus, and so this would be your x1 and your y1. So y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And then that's how you would leave it if I had asked for it in point slope form. If I had asked for it in slope intercept form, then you would need to finish it. So we could stop right there, or we could do y minus 12 is equal to 4x minus 32. So I would add 12 to both sides and get y is equal to 4x minus 20. That is in slope intercept form. Now, the other way that you could do this, you still need the same slope. So if you want to use slope-intercept form to write this, we still need slope, we still need a point, but now we're going to use y equals mx plus b. I have y, I have m, I have x, but ultimately my equation needs the m and the b. So I'm going to plug in the numbers that I have. 12 is equal to 4 times 8 plus b. So I have 32. Subtract 32 from both sides, you get negative 20 is equal to b. So now you rewrite your equation as y equals m was 4x minus 20. Notice we got the same answer, our same final answer from both sides. Again, it just depends on whether I want the final answer to be in slope-intercept form or point-slope form. If I don't specify, then I always tend to go towards slope-intercept. So you can choose either method that you want to solve the equation. Write the equation of the line that has a slope of negative 1/2 and passes through the point 5, negative 14. So again, it doesn't matter which one you use. Let's do y equals mx plus b. So if we do y equals mx plus b, then we have y is negative 14 equals slope times 5, which was x, plus b. So I have negative 14 is equal to negative 5/2 plus b. So then if I change this so that I have a common denominator, I would need to change this 14 to negative 28/2. I'm going to add 5/2 to both sides, and I get that b is equal to negative 23/2. So I can rewrite my equation, y equals negative 1/2 x minus 23/2. I can do the same thing over here. If I use point slope, I would have y minus, and then it's a negative 14, so positive 14 equals the slope times x minus 5. X minus x1. So I have y plus 14 is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 5/2. Again, we need to change that 14 into 28 over 2. So I'm going to subtract, subtract 28 over 2 from both sides. And I end up with y is equal to negative 1/2 x minus 23/2. Now, if I had asked you to leave it in point slope form, you would have stopped right there. Y plus 14 equals negative 1/2 times x minus 5. Write the equation of a line that has a y-intercept of 7, which means that's b, and passes through the point 4, negative 2. So if it passes through the y-intercept at 7, then that means that point is at 0, 7. So we need a point and we need a slope to be able to write this. So slope is equal to negative 2 minus 7 over 4 minus 0, so that's negative 9/4. So we have a slope. So you have two choices here. Once we have our slope, since we already have our y-intercept, we can skip straight here. Y equals negative 9/4 x plus 7, because that's our y-intercept. Or you could do y minus 7 equals negative 9/4 times x minus 0, and then you would end up at the same place. This is point slope, and this is going straight into y-intercept. Slope-intercept form. All right, write the equation of the line with the points on the table below. So we need to know what our slope is. So you can pick any 2 points on the table. We do need to double check. I guess that's for a difference of 4, a difference of 4, and a difference of 4. And these all have a difference of 1, which means that this is a linear line, okay? It is a straight line. So it has a slope of 4 over 1. And then it doesn't matter which points, it's going to go through any of those points. So I'm going to choose the smallest. So you could do y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. That's one way to solve it. That's slope-intercept form, and then you could finish it from there and get y is equal to 4x plus 7, or again, you can use slope-intercept form and do y is equal to mx plus b, and you get that b is 7. So then you would have y equals mx plus b. Okay, again, that's slope-intercept form. So it depends on what I asked for, whether I want it in point-slope form or slope-intercept form, what your final answer will look like. Your point-slope form will look like this: y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and with your values for y1, m, and x1. And your slope-intercept will be y equals mx plus b with your values in m and b. So pay attention to which one you have been asked for.